sorry for bringing that to you a little early. I didn't want it to start the next song.
No problem. We got it.
Okay.
Yes, we go. That's all you need, man. You're all right. Good evening, Lion Nation, and welcome into the Coach Caleb Ross Show. I'm Will Barrett, sitting in for Chris Britton tonight, who has other things in his itinerary this evening, including saving the world and rescuing children from burning infernos. That's why he's not here. That's the only reason you're excused from the Coach Caleb Ross Show. It is a great night here at Los Mayas Mexican Restaurant. We're here with you from 5:30 to 6:30 on Dixie Country 100.1 FM and on Prattville Live's YouTube channel. Got Mills over here at Master Control. We got Brother Thompson over here taking in the sights and the sounds tonight.
He's the bouncer here. Make sure
Chief of Security.
There's no doubt.
Yeah. You know, we have Friday night security is typically Bruce Kilo and Mike Harrell. And Thursday night security, Jimbo Thompson, because he's busy on Friday nights doing quarterback club things and taking care of his boy Taylor. You might have heard of Taylor Thompson. He called his name a few times on Friday nights this year. But it is a great night. It got some nice cool weather after this rain has come in and kind of washed everything away. Got some cool weather coming in. Cool weather tomorrow night at Crampton Bowl as the Lions take on Sid Lanier High School in their final game of the regular season in a tune-up for the first round of the 2018 7A playoffs. Something that we haven't been able to say in 4 seasons, and it's been a breath of fresh air this week, all week long, knowing that the season does not end Friday. It rolls on into the second season, known as the playoffs. Joining me now is Coach Caleb Ross. And, Coach, I know for you in your first year, one of the things you wanted to accomplish was to get this team into the playoffs, and mission accomplished.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very proud of what our team's accomplished. You know, they, that very first day you come in and, man, you set all these goals and expectations, and you tell them, hey, things are going to be different. This is how we want this program to be run. And I tell you what, man, the kids just bought in. They were so hungry, man. They wanted success. And, you know, and like I've said before, we still have a long way to go in a lot of areas. But, man, I feel like we've made some ground and I feel like everything's heading in the right direction to be able to get into these playoffs first year. And I know we'll talk about playoffs. Obviously, the coach in me is, man, you're starting to get that churn in your stomach because you got a game within 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to remind a few people this week, hey, I'm excited about the playoffs. We do play Friday night, so we got to get ready for this game. And it really, and I'll talk more about that here in a second, but absolutely, man, for us to have a chance to go back to the playoffs where, in my mind, this program's always belong, always should be, man, is the first step of our ultimate goal, and that's to get this thing back to being one of the elite programs in the state. So,
you know, going back to week 1 against Foley High School, you know, nobody knew what to really expect from this program coming out. There's been an entire shift in the way these kids are taught, trained, just in the language of the coaches, learning a whole new set, learning a whole new attitude, a whole new charisma, a whole new way of even practicing. Just the minor, the tiny details, they are all changed wholesale. Come out in the first game, you pitch a shutout, 37-zip against Foley, and, you know, the looks on some of these kids' faces in that game was kind of surprised. You know, like, we did that. We can do this. And slowly but surely, this team has grown each week into not being surprised by wins, but expecting to win. And that's got to be something that I know you've been working on them with each week, just building confidence.
That's it, and that's, to me, the ultimate goal. Like I said, man, to expect to win. Now, to understand, though, with that expectation, there's the work that comes with it, the preparation, and that's what I've been most pleased about. Man, these kids have not been entitled to anything and have no right to be entitled, but probably the only week I thought that, man, our focus was not as great was after the league game. We played Jeff Davis, but there were so many things to distract our kids, and, you know what, even then we found a way to turn it around in the second half and find a way to win that game. So I really, man, it probably of any team I've ever coached, man, they have been the most focused when it comes to Friday night, because we've had talented football teams. I mean, you know, we won a state championship at McGill when I was assistant, but this team, man, I'm telling you, game days, they've just been laser focused, man. I've been just so impressed, so blown away by some of our senior leadership, man, who's really dialed. I mean, there's times this thing, when you had a big loss or it could have got away from you, man. They've stayed right there, stayed the course.
Let's go back to last week's game against Smith Station. Now, that game was a pivotal game in the season as far as extending the season into the playoffs. It's kind of a weird situation where you win the game, you wrap up number 3 seed, lose the game, and you might not make it in at all.
That's it. You got all these scenarios of tiebreakers, and we just didn't want to do that. And I give credit. Smith's got you talking about another program that's really turned it around from winning one game last 2 years to they got a chance to have a winning season if they win tomorrow night. Coach Bliss and their staff did an outstanding job. We knew in going on the road that, look, you're playing a really good football team. It was a team that I thought that overall we were probably a little bit better. But if we didn't play well, we would get beat. It was that simple. It was not one of those where we may know this team is good enough. They're sound. They're well coached. They're fundamental. It's not the Smiths that you played the last couple of years. So we knew that. But I tell you what, we jumped out early. And just like good football teams, Smiths rallied back. But we found a way to make plays in the second half to hold on, flip field position, and get a key victory for this program.
You said it right there. There's the mark of how this team has turned the corner. They found a way. It wasn't our best night of football. It wasn't a complete game at all. We got out to a fast start, and then kind of things sputtered, and things got out of kilter, and Smith punched back. But overall, the team found a way to win the game.
That's right. We did enough to win the game and never lost doubt. I mean, I think there's times, and you look in the past and just talking to the kids and maybe talking to some of the members of the program associated with the program, that there were key moments in certain ball games where the thing would just go south because there's not. I mean, you look at some of the losses in the past. There were times when it'd be a tight ball game at halftime. I think a good example of difference in previous to this year, you really do look at that Jeff Davis game because I've watched a couple of their games from the years past, and they would be in that situation with JD where maybe they were down by a touchdown at halftime, and it would just get away from them in the second half. They would not be. It wouldn't be like some blowout to begin with. It would be a decent game at half, or it'd be within grasp going in third quarter, and the thing just start to fall apart. And to me, that's the difference. That's the difference of what this group's been able to do compared to the past couple of years. That, man, they've been able to hold in there, dig their cleats in, find some grit about them, and go find a way to win the football game. And, I mean, that's the main thing I'm proud of. Like I said, we got a long way to go, but those things, you're starting to see the characteristics of a winning program again. And that was a goal. That was probably the first goal, long-term goal. We've talked about that, but I'm very pleased.
One thing that people may not know is the amount of time and the amount of separation from family, the amount of time that these coaches put in. Your staff actually puts in to putting the game plan together, to studying film, to breaking down your own film from the week before
practice, 5-minute periods, and make sure everybody's moving on the same page. It takes a lot of preparation. It takes a lot of meeting, a lot of organization. But once you get it down and the coaches get it down, the kids get down, it becomes a routine. And to me, that's the key to all of it is the consistency of we're going to do these things every single day. And we're going to focus on, if we have a new scheme, we'll work on it. But how we do it and what we do basically does not change. And I think that is the key is the consistency.
One of the pronouns that you like to use a lot when you refer to yourself is we. And I don't know if people pick up on that much, but in most of your interviews, most of your pregame, postgame interviews, and even during the week, you say, when we do this, when we do that, when we took the job here, and it really does fit when you describe the coach and what it goes into that way. It's a commitment from not just you, but the whole family's got to be on board.
Is there that? I mean, you look at from my own personal life. When I mean we, I mean me and my wife and my kids because. Mm-hmm. Man, I couldn't, and I know a lot of people brag on their wives, but I'm telling you, I couldn't ask for somebody as a spouse this is a partnership, and she's the first person. Obviously, when the whole idea about Prattville, I went to her first and said, hey, what do you think? I mean, obviously, I know a lot of people do that, but if she's not in, then it doesn't matter how much I want it. It's not going to be an enjoyable experience. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go force my family to do something that they're not comfortable with. And we weighed that out, and it is a we. And then when you get into it and you start coaching, when you're talking about we, you're talking about, man, the coaching staff, and you're talking about the kids. And some of that is, we on purpose of saying that because this is we, this is us, this is who we are, this is Prattville. And, man, I really want if you're saying we, the kids, man, they believe it. This is who we are. It's we. And it ain't no I because my eligibility was up 23 years ago or whatever. College eligibility 17 years ago.
It's getting longer.
Yeah, man, I don't know if I got 2 plays in me left. But yeah, so when I talk about we, man, it's all of us because it does require all. I mean, and even when we talk about we, you're not even just talking about coaches and players and families. You're even talking about let's go to the community. Let's talk about the quarterback club, man. We're all in this together. There's been a long a lot of meetings to get things planned out on a Friday night and the vision of how we want to do things to raise money. And it's a big job, and they are big jobs, and we don't want to take ourselves too seriously. We are coaching high school football, but these are rallying points for a community. And, man, especially in the South, man, people rally around high school football.
No doubt about it, Coach. Well said. We're going to step aside for how long is this break, Stacy? This is a 3-minute break coming up. When we come back, we'll look ahead to this week's opponent, the Sid Lanier Poets, and that'll all come to you on the Caleb Ross Show in 3 minutes when Prattville Lions football continues on Dixie Country, 100.1 FM.
Hey, it's always a better buy at Brubaker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. Right now at Brubaker in Prattville, you can buy brand new 2018 and 2019 Dodge Ram Bighorn trucks and save up to $15,000. It's always a better buy at Brubaker in Prattville. Jeep Cherokees on sale for 25% off. Jeep Compasses save over $3,500. And you can save over $4,000 on Dodge Challengers and Dodge Chargers. Remember, it's always a better buy at Brubaker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville.
I'm Chip Powell with the Prattville Lions broadcast crew and a longtime customer of Billy Lanham's Auto Save Tire and Automotive. Billy is proud to support the Lions quarterback club and all of the radio and live stream broadcasts. But the thing that he is most proud of is having a reputation for saving his customers money on the best brand name tires, automotive accessories, and service. Let Billy and his crew know that you appreciate the support of Prattville High School. Let Auto Save Tire and Automotive take care of your vehicles and save you money. North Memorial Drive in Prattville and locations in Montgomery and Wetumpka. AutoSaveTires.net.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
Go to launchprattville.com to find a big savings on combos. Jump time, laser tag, arcade games, plus pizza and drinks. Combos save you money and let you have more flippin' fun. Launchprattville.com and on Facebook. The ultimate, the extreme Launch Trampoline. All schools and nonprofits qualify for fundraising fun at Launch Trampoline Park in Prattville. Check out the party packages at launchprattville.com and on Facebook. Dunk like a pro and raise money for your church or school. The ultimate, the extreme Launch Trampoline.
Man, Chip, finally, we got an easy-go dealer.
Man, it's officially true. Prattville has it all.
Yeah, and it's not some just old fly-by-night operation or some dude selling golf carts under a shade tree. It's the real deal. Prattville Outdoors is a family business with 5 decades of service.
Let's go for a test drive.
That's a good idea.
Hey, man, I'm
Come on.
driving.
Why should you drive? I'm the voice, you're the sidekick.
Come see our new Easy Goes and all the other great outdoor stuff. Highway 82, west of Highway 14.
Hey, I'm Shane Spiller with Spiller Furniture and Mattress. We're a proud supporter of Prattville Lions football and glad to be part of the broadcast. We're located right in downtown Prattville, been here for 35 years. Right here in downtown Prattville, we have 12,000 square feet of great merchandise to help you be comfortable at the big game. Right here at Spiller Furniture and Mattress, we specialize in big selection, friendly service, and credit. So come see us in downtown Prattville at Spiller Furniture and Mattress, where we're proud to support Prattville Lions football. Go Lions.
Coach Caleb Ross with you right now. We're here with you until 6:30 tonight. It's 5:45 now. Plenty of time to come and get some of this delicious food at Los Mayas Mexican Restaurant. You know, they've been a great friend of the program this year. They stay open late on home games for the Lion Nation to come and fill their bellies after a win. We've had a lot of fun here after home games on a Friday night. About the only good place open down here is Los Mayas Mexican Restaurant. They stay open just for the Lion Nation, and we're really grateful for their support of the program and grateful for them being able to host us here all season long in the 95-degree Thursday night opener to this cool, cloudy night we have going on right now. But Coach, I just saw the First Lady walk in a minute ago.
Yeah, maybe she heard what I was saying to put in some good
Hope
words
she
for
heard
us.
the plug.
No, she's very deserving, and I tell you, like I've always said, man, I don't know if I could do it. And she's basically during the football season, she's raising those kids by themselves. I mean, I try to my downtime is with my family, and And, I mean, I try to on weekends. Man, I try to shut that phone down. I try to do all the things you do because if not, there's always somebody calling, pulling, needing something. But, I said this going in from day one. And it's a struggle, but I've got to be a good man first before I am a good football coach. That means being a good husband, good father. So, finding the time to balance both sometimes is very difficult. But we make it work. But I'm very blessed, very, very blessed of what I have as a wife, a support system at home.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. You've definitely outkicked your coverage, Coach.
There's no doubt about that.
Let's look ahead to Friday night. About 24 hours from now, we're going to kick it off against Sid Lanier High School, and this is not a playoff game. This is a 7A versus 6A game, but it's a big game as far as Prattville football is concerned.
Yeah, first of all, man, anytime you go compete, and that's really the message that we want to send to our kids. It doesn't matter if we play tonight against a region, non-region, what's at stake. I want our kids to understand there's a way of approaching a competition, and I think from all of them are important, man. I mean, if you don't think it's important, go out and play bad and lose tomorrow night, and just see the feel of the program going in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's one. The other thing too, you don't want to have no negative momentum. You don't want to have negative momentum going into your big playoff game. You don't want to go play bad on offense or defense and lose confidence of what you're doing, man. You want to be sharp, man. You want to go take care of business. You want to go win the football game. The third thing is you're playing a Montgomery school, and so this is of the 3 Montgomery schools on our schedule, you got a chance to win all 3. And from a area standpoint, man, that's huge. That's from a psyche standpoint, considering that this program has not beat a Montgomery school, I think, since 2015. So, man, there's a lot at stake. You play a good Lanier team, man. That team has gotten better. They lost a bunch from last year, so a lot of people weren't real sure how they were going to be this year. Well, man, every week they've gotten better. They've gotten better. They've gotten better. And they beat probably the best, in my opinion, probably the best team in Montgomery this year, maybe Carver.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, they beat them. And they beat Park Crossing, man. They've got some big wins under the belt. They're always athletic. I think Coach Cunningham does a good job. Man, it's a challenge. And I tell you this, I like the matchup because, man, from an athletic standpoint, speed standpoint, they do get you prepared for a playoff game because you're going to see well-coached, a lot of athletes on the field in any playoff game you play. So, man, this is a big game for us tomorrow night. And I know and everybody's excited, and we've even had to make a few little plans for the playoffs and talking about it. But our focus, man, our main focus, and I will say this, our kids have had a good week too, is focused on tomorrow night.
Coach Cunningham has done a good job at Lanier in turning that program around. It used to be a doormat school in Montgomery, but they've definitely turned it around in the last couple of years. They've had our number the last 2 consecutive years. Most recently, a 34-3 beat down at home last year that left an awful taste in the mouth of the Lion faithful. And we're looking to get rid of that this Friday night. But this Lanier team, like you said, they've gotten better every week, and they actually had a chance to seal up a regional championship last Friday. They had a hiccup against Northview and came up short. But if they win that game, they're region champs.
I know it.
So this is
in a tough region. That's right.
A very tough region and a quality opponent.
It's a good football team, man. They're very big up on the defensive line, man. They're athletic in the linebacker and secondary positions. Offensively now, they're pretty explosive. They can score with anybody. They got receivers that can go get it. Really impressed with their running back, man. He runs the ball hard. Like I said, they're big up front. They do a good job, man. They're doing a good job. They've gotten better and better every week. They're almost very comparable to us. You look from where they were at the start of the season to where they are now, man, they're better. They're much improved. So, man, it's going to be a ball game. It's going to be a competitive ball game tomorrow night, and it's a game that we got to go out and we got to go play well to win.
That's right. Both teams coming in looking to tune up ahead as they head into the playoffs. So yeah, it's going to be a battle Friday night, and as long as we come prepared, I know we'll come out on top, and it's a chance to go undefeated at Crampton Bowl this year, and like you said, also to sweep the Montgomery School, something that hasn't been done in several years, and not even in 2014 when we made a championship run, we didn't sweep the Montgomery Schools, not that year either. So, speaking of clean sweep, one of the cleanest haircuts on the football team just came into the room. Zach Burner, the Iceman, 1986 Val Kilmer lookalike. Zach Burner is here with us. He is our Buffalo Rock Pepsi Player of the Week from last week against Smith Station, and you got to love the game this kid played. Man, I was just so proud of that kid. Man, he's obviously, me and Zach had a connection when I first got here, and I was probably on the job 2 days, and they told me, said, hey, Coach, I had a move in, from Mississippi. He's a pretty good player. So, anyway, I introduced myself to Zach, and I said, Zach, where are you from, Mississippi? Well, when he told me,
He played at Germantown. It just so happens I know his head coach real well, but better yet, the guy that was his position coach is probably a mentor of mine, a guy that I probably learned how to coach and owe a lot to my coaching career of. So I texted my buddies in Mississippi. I said, hey, we got this kid named Zach Borner. Moved in, what type of player is he? And he said, he's a good kid. I'll call you later. Well, sometimes when you hear a good kid, you never know. Well, he's a good boy, coach, but you ain't gonna get much out of him on the football side of it, whatever. But man, it's just opposite. When I called, or he finally called me, he said, Coach, he's the best. He was the best player we had on defense, man. He was a 80, 90, 100 tackle guy, and he said, Coach, he's a really good player, man. He's turned out to be everything. And here's what I love about him, man. We had three of them all rotating between him, Jake, and Mason Taylor. And both playing really well. Well, Mason goes down with injury, and Zach's really stepped up from a leadership role too, man, and really filled that void. And he's played outstanding about every week. So played great against Lee, played great against JD, was great against Auburn, and had really an outstanding night last week. And Smith had 15 tackles. I mean, that's an excellent night and fine young man. And I know we'll talk more about him. When we come back from the break.
We'll get him on in the next segment.
That's it. But he's done outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, you look back on the games of several weeks, we could have given it to him, the player of the week. But because there were in every game, there's two or three that are at least two or three that are deserving. But number finally got called. Last Friday, so now he's going to immortality.
He is. He's a young man that's got it all going for him, man. He's a good football player, decent-looking guy. The girls are all over him. I mean, what else do you want, man? He's got it. He's got it all, man. So, but if you watch the Prattville Football Review Inside the Lions Cage, you might have heard his interview not too long ago, and his plans for taking Ariana Grande out on Prattville for a night. So it's pretty interesting. You might want to check that out in the Prattville Live archives. but no, Coach, a lot going on with this team right now. The Lanier Poets coming in. We're going over there again. The focus and everything has to be in place. You mentioned that over and over again, just the laser focus these kids have and the preparation that goes into everything that we do this week. But it can't come just from you. It's got to come from other places. Where else does this team find their focus and leadership from? And where do you pull from? Obviously, to me, it's a pyramid effect, man. Obviously, you got to have one guy, a leader, man. I try to set that focus, but then we've got outstanding assistant coaches. You got guys that have been head coaches that can go be head coaches tonight at places. And so, man, they provide the same thing. And we do. There's got to be, we lead it and we say this is what we want, but you're going to surround yourself with like-minded people, man. And that's what we tried to do when you're talking about J.B. Wallace, when you're talking about Matt Malone, Granger Shook, man. You can go down the road of all the guys. And even the guys that were here on last year's staff, man, they have really bought into what we're doing, man. They're putting the time in. So, man, we try to be on the same page that way when all of us, when we talk about the we word again, we are saying the same things and our focus is the same. To me, that's the only way I know how to do it. And, man, I think it starts there. Then you lean on your seniors, man. You're constantly talking to them about, hey, this is your last year. Man, you don't want to have any regrets because it will go by so fast. And I think come up to me and say, Coach, you said it would go by fast. It's already week 10. I said, yeah, I know it. And you're going to look up and you may a chance of playing high school football or coming to an end. And some of them will go on to play college. Some of them won't. So make the most of it because this opportunity, man, you're going to wish you had back if you don't have any regrets. So, anyway, man, I think a lot of it comes from that. And, man, in the community, the community's so hungry here. They want these kids to do well. And I've said it in the past, you don't really have to sometimes get on these kids when they don't perform well. Man, they hear it in the community. They hear it in the barbershop. They hear it in the grocery store. They hear it when they go anywhere out to eat on a Saturday night. Man, this community expects this program to be successful. Mm-hmm. So, and that all that plays into the factor of keeping these kids focused.
We're going to step aside for another 3-minute break. When we come back, we'll have middle linebacker Zach Borner with us, our Buffalo Rock Pepsi Player of the Week from last week. We're talking about all his escapades with Maverick and Goose and Hollywood and Merlin at the Top Gun Flight School when Prattville Lions football rolls on after these words.
I'm Chip Powell with the Prattville Lions broadcast crew and a longtime customer of Billy Lanham's Auto Save Tire and Automotive. Billy is proud to support the Lions Quarterback Club and all of the radio and live stream broadcasts. But the thing that he is most proud of is having a reputation for saving his customers money on the best brand name tires, automotive accessories, and service. Let Billy and his crew know that you appreciate the support of Prattville High School. Let Auto Save Tire and Automotive take care of your vehicles and save you money. North Memorial Drive in Prattville and locations in Montgomery and Wetumpka. AutoSaveTire.net.
Hey, it's always a better buy at Brubaker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. Right now at Brubaker in Prattville, you can buy brand new 2018 and 2019 Dodge Ram Bighorn trucks and save up to $15,000. It's always a better buy at Brubaker in Prattville. Jeep Cherokees on sale for 25% off. Jeep Compasses save over $3,500. And you can save over $4,000 on Dodge Challengers and Dodge Chargers. Remember, it's always a better buy at Brubaker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville.
Don't throw away your money, especially on replacement auto parts. In most cases, aftermarket parts are just as good and a heck of a lot cheaper tthan factory parts. D&J Auto Parts in Prattville is all hooked up with Auto Plus, a nationwide leader in the automotive aftermarket. Don't you dare go to another parts store before checking the great prices at D&J Auto Plus, 175 Highway 82 Bypass in Prattville.
In 1934, Steak and Shake decided the world didn't need another hamburger. It needed a steak burger, so they used 100% beef. Quick seared to seal in the flavor you'll only get from a steak burger. Steak and Shake, home of the original steak burger.
New at Steak and Shake, 24 meals under $4 with handcrafted steak burgers, all beef steak franks, and fresh guacamole made from scratch. Get 24 meals for under $4. New at Steak and Shake.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
They do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
For over 25 years, Russell Do-It Center has been your local Prattville home shopping center. The most knowledgeable homegrown staff of any building supply store anywhere. Stop by, see Mike Mitchell and all the crew at 2006 Cobbs Ford Road. Call them at 334-365-6100. Get what you need and be on your way. You want Mike and the folks at Russell Do-It Center. They can rent equipment too, from tile saws to tractors. Located on Cobbs Ford Road, right across from Chick-fil-A. It's Russell Do-It Center. Proudly sponsoring Prattville High School football.
I pay taxes in that state, so I got the right. There you go.
So, Zach, tell us a little about yourself. Coach Ross hit on it for a little bit. You came over here from Mississippi this year, from Germantown. Highly touted coming in from Germantown. Talk about your assimilation into the Prattville culture and learning the Prattville way of doing things, and how that's been for you.
Okay. Yeah, so last, December during winter break, we moved, to Prattville, and I remember we got the news a little bit before, so I was kind of keeping it to myself for a little bit, And then, I remember that last playoff game, I told my coaches where I was going. When they heard Prattville, they were like, that's a big school,
Yeah.
That's a, because Prattville, the name of Prattville is really big, wherever you go, really down south. And then, when I moved here, I was a little nervous and anxious and stuff like that, transitioning and stuff like that from a whole nother school and a whole different program. And, but then over time, it really started working out. I started getting used to all the different workout routines, the way we practice, the momentum, all that stuff. And then, here I am playing my last regular season game coming up,
Yeah, and it's been a great ride having you. I wish we could have had you 2 more seasons and 11 other guys just like you. I mean, it's been been a fantastic addition to this program. You made us all really proud of the way you played. Talk about when your partner in crime, Mason Taylor, goes down, and you know that it's you from here on out. What was that like for you?
It really was like, it was almost like, I wouldn't say nervous, but you were like, I don't know, it's weird to explain, because me and Jake both knew that without, us three, it was us three getting in, and, without Mason, we both knew that we both really had to just kind of step it up in a way, knowing that we were going to be getting more reps, not having the full rotation and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like, we did good transitioning, when Mason got injured and stuff like that. But yeah.
Now take us back to last week, the Smith Station game. Obviously, you played a lights-out ball game. The entire defense just really held that Smith Station offense at bay, minus one explosive play that if you go back and watch the replay, you saw Zach get tackled by an offensive lineman. But we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that. That's not even a big deal. It doesn't matter. And I'm not even still holding that against officials because I don't do that kind of thing. Yeah. But the bottom line is we won the game, and you had an outstanding ball game. And the emotion on the sideline after the game, when everybody finally was celebrating that we've made it. We made it back into the playoffs. What was that like for you and this team?
Oh, it was awesome, especially when that onside kick or whatever.
Right.
And then Malik and all them, came up and they were like, we're going to the playoffs. I was like, man, I was just it's a really good warm feeling knowing that, all that work you put into, over summer, all that stuff, spring, it's just, it's really paying off, and it's just a good feeling to have knowing that, you've been working this hard, and then now you're going first round, you want to keep going, that's all. I mean, it's just a great feeling because you don't work hard for nothing.
That's right.
You don't work hard to just end it,
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Well, your hard work's paid off tonight in several ways. First of all, you have this awesome plaque from our friends at Buffalo Rock and Pepsi and One Way Christian Books and Engraving. It's got your name on it, Zach Bruner, High School Player of the Game for Prattville versus Smith Station, October 26, 2018. And I want you to do me a favor as I give this to you. My partner in the booth, Chip Powell, really struggles with Bruner.
Oh, and Bruner.
Will you please for Chip that it's not Bruner.
It's Zachary Burner, not Bruner.
You hear that?
Burner.
Okay. Because Chip always listens to the show. He needs to hear it from you because I've told him. I've told him it's Borner. It's Burner. And he goes, no, that's misspelled. It's Bruner because nobody has his last name. I was like, well, I know one guy that does.
Yeah, my last name's misspelled. You know.
Like I know they checked these rosters a couple times. I know this is correct. Boerner is not Bruner. For everybody listening at home.
We got a copy of his birth certificate.
Yeah, it's definitely Burner. So congratulations, Zach.
Thank you.
You've earned that. You also earned a Sport Clips MVP treatment, which includes the Precision Haircut, Massaging Tea Tree Shampoo, and the legendary Hot Steam Towel. I get to say that every week several times, so I've got it memorized. It's in front of Target. It's in front of Target on Legends Parkway, in case you didn't know.
All right.
Sport Clips. You also have this jump pass, good for 1 hour at Launch Trampoline Park.
Thank you.
It is actually not usable for you until December.
Okay, yeah, until after.
Until after football season, that's right.
So enjoy that, but enjoy it over the Christmas break.
Oh, yeah, I will.
So talk to us a little bit about your plans. I mean, this is your senior year is winding down. Obviously you've got plans after high school. What's on the schedule for you?
I'd love to, my plan and my goal is after high school, whatever best offer college, that's really like, reaching out to me. That's where I want to go, play college football. After college football, I want to enlist in the Navy, maybe do something like SWIC or, SEALs, something like that. And then,
no big deal.
No. Yeah,
SEALs,
it's just,
whatever.
It's just something that I, like something I really like.
Yeah.
Something I love, like I love.
That runs in your family, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
A little heritage
the Navy,
there.
Yeah, just a little heritage. Yeah.
Navy officer sitting right over here.
Yeah. But, that's my plan,
Very good.
Go play some ball, join the military, and then from there.
Maybe Ariana will call between now and then.
Yep.
You never know.
Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Well, Zach, you made you make us all real proud about the way you play, the way you conduct yourself on and off the field. I know your dad's proud of you. I know all your folks are proud of you. I know Coach Ross just raves about how you carry yourself and how you're an ambassador for the program. And we just look forward to what this team's going to do Friday at Crampton Bowl. Talk to us about your week of preparation. You're heading into the final game before the playoffs. It's a game that's really important for us to win, as far as keeping on top of the Montgomery schools and the local and the regional programs. Talk about your week of preparation this week. What's it been like?
I feel like, it's been very, focused and stuff like that. Like, not only me but the other defense and offensive players know that, this doesn't have anything to do with the playoffs, but it's still a game you want to win. You want to win every single game that you play every Friday, whether it's, whether you're going to the playoffs or state. I mean, regardless, you want to win every game. And especially, I wasn't, around when, they were playing the Montgomery teams last year and stuff like that. But, this is a big deal to, wipe out all the Montgomery teams. And, I want to take part in that too. Wipe them all out, go undefeated in the Crimson Bowl, and just show, give people that, Prattville's got a name back, So.
Coach, I think your message is getting through.
we pay them a lot of money to say these things on there. So. No, they bought in, man. They can tell. And it's true. We've had a really focused week. And I was worried about that. I was worried of what this team was going to be, man. They've come out and, in there, they get it. They get it. And I'm really proud of that. So I know we sound like we may be pushing up on a break. But, I'm really proud of our group, man. I guess to me as a coach, you start talking these things, you're saying those things, and then when you hear your guys say the things back that you're saying, man, you're getting through to them, and it does. You got to have success. I mean, you say these things, and they all buy in, but they're ultimately going to buy in when they see that the things you're telling them work and they're successful, and that's where we're at, man. We're in a really good spot, and that's why I feel good. I love our week of preparation. Let's go compete tomorrow. Let's get this win. Let's take this positive momentum, into the playoffs.
Absolutely. It's 6:07 right now, and we're here for another 23 minutes here at Los Mayas Mexican Restaurant here in downtown Prattville. Come out and join us. We're sitting out here on the porch. It's a lovely night to be talking about football, talking about the end of the first season and the start of the second season on the horizon. That will be the playoffs. It's been avoided us for the last few years, but no longer. We'll talk about some recent articles that have been written in the next segment, and all that comes out your way in 3 minutes when Prattville Lions football continues here on the Coach Caleb Ross Show at Los Mayas Mexican Restaurant after these words.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com. You never know who will be tonight's most valuable player, but you could be tomorrow's most valuable picker. That's because you can discover your next bargain at Prattville Pickers. It's the region's largest collection of everything unique. It's a treasure hunter's paradise and a collector's dream come true. Don't scrimmage through rummage. Go to Prattville Pickers for the best selection of everything unique. Cheer loud tonight for the game's most valuable player, and you can be the most valuable picker this weekend at Prattville Pickers on Highway 82 across from the Prattville Country Club.
Go to launchprattville.com to find a big savings on combos. Jump time, laser tag, arcade games, plus pizza and drinks. Combos save you money and let you have more flippin' fun. Launchprattville.com and on Facebook. The ultimate, the extreme Launch Trampoline. All schools and nonprofits qualify for fundraising fun at Launch Trampoline Park in Prattville. Check out the party packages at launchprattville.com and on Facebook. Dunk like a pro and raise money for your church or school. The ultimate, the extreme Launch Trampoline.
For over 25 years, Russell Dewitt Center has been your local Prattville home shopping center. The most knowledgeable homegrown staff of any building supply store anywhere. Stop by, see Mike Mitchell and all the crew at 2006 Cobbs Ford Road. Call them at 334-365-6100. Get what you need and be on your way. You want Mike and the folks at Russell Dewitt Center. They can rent equipment too, from tile saws to Chick-fil-A. It's Russell Dewitt Center, proudly sponsoring Prattville High School football.
Hey, I'm Shane Spiller with Spiller Furniture and Mattress. We're a proud supporter of Prattville Lions football and glad to be part of the broadcast. We're located right in downtown Prattville, been here for 35 years. Right here in downtown Prattville, we have 12,000 square feet of great merchandise to help you be comfortable at the big game. Right here at Spiller Furniture and Mattress, we specialize in big selection, friendly service, and credit. So come see us in downtown Prattville at Spiller Furniture and Mattress, where we're proud to support Prattville Lions football. Go Lions.
Welcome back to Los Mayas Mexican Restaurant in downtown Prattville. This is the Coach Caleb Ross Show, and Will Barrett, as always, with head coach Caleb Ross, with you for another 19 minutes as we come into our last segment of the Coach Caleb Ross Show to wrap up week 10 of the Coach Caleb Ross Show. You know, we've done 10 hours of Thursday night shows, Coach.
I know it, man. It don't seem like it.
I know. It flies on by.
It does. It does.
Flies by. Marcus Jackson has just come out onto the porch, and I don't know if you have been able to. I know you watched the game film and even the Prattville Live film from each week, and I know you might skip through the halftime to get to the third quarter because time is critical to you. But if you ever do get a chance to listen through halftime, you get a chance to listen to the Marcus Jackson halftime show.
I've heard it. No, I've listened to it. It's really good.
I mean, it rivals like 60 Minutes. You know, the kind of interviews that you would hear from like Lester Holt, Brian Williams, those kind of guys. Marcus Jackson really puts it on his guest. I mean, there are no softball pitches coming from Marcus. He's throwing knuckleballs and curves and slurves and all kind of things. And these guys, it's worth it to get on the air on the Prattville Live YouTube channel because you got 7,000 unique viewers about any given time, and the tens of thousands listening on Dixie Country 100.1 FM on Friday night. To get in with Marcus Jackson is worth it, but you got to bring your A game because he's not taking it easy on you.
It sounds interesting. It sounds like I really want to get on there. I mean, I'm going to get grilled. Yeah, that'd be what I need to do at halftime, not coach the team. So that'd be good. But I might me not to be interviewed by him then. That's all that's going on.
So we're going to get him on in a minute and let him ask the hard-hitting expose questions that I'm not going to ask because I'm a sunshine pumper, Coach. And Marcus will get down to the nitty-gritty. Yeah, grab that mic right there.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
He comes on. He comes to us right now. It's Marcus Jackson, City Councilor, District 2, and the host of the Marcus Jackson Halftime Show. You got to turn that on.
Coach Ross, Friday night, after the 2 penalties on Brandon Butts, we saw you on the sideline, and you kind of lost it. And I was really wanting to know what you were thinking and what you were saying. It seemed like you just kind of – and I saw your arms flailing, your legs and feet kicking, and I saw coaches and players backing up on the sideline.
Right, because I really, in those situations, and that's it. That really starts the officials. The situation was not managed super well. I think officials do a great job. I've umpired baseball. I get it, man. That's a different deal. But I think you had our kids out on the field. We're trying to find out, is it going to be a safety? What's the penalty? What's the deal? What they're going to call on Brandon Butts? There's a lot going on, and really, I got irritated myself because we should have been prepared for this situation where we pulled all the kids off the field, let them huddle up, and then we talk to the officials and find out what's going on. Because I've got kids were kind of drifting out into the numbers, and they're trying to it wasn't very organized, and those things really, really get up under my skin. So, man, I quickly want to make sure, hey, get everybody off the side, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes the sense of urgency's got to be a little bit higher to get people's attention. So, man, we got to get off the field, get them back. That way we don't get it because we just got a second penalty on Brandon Butts, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And it was not fair, but we would have been avoided if he just got off the field.
Yep.
But because we allowed our guys on the field, he got a second penalty, and that's why I'm just so frustrated of why we didn't get him off. But hey, that's the perfectionist in me, and it's a learning lesson. And every now and then, man, as a leader, you got to rattle the cages every now and then. You can't do it all the time because then nobody takes you seriously. But
I slowed it down, and I'm gonna send it to you. I meant to send it to you, and I replayed it about 10 times, and it cracks me up every time. So I said I was wondering what Coach Ross was saying and thinking, and I could imagine several of those coaches and players' eyes were about the size of softballs.
You know, Marcus, we were in the top row of the bleachers at Smith's when this was happening on the visitor section. There's only about 7 or 10 rows of bleachers on the visitor side. So where we were, I could hear it word for word, and I could tell you exactly what he said. He said, and I quote, "I want you all off the field right now."
Okay.
That's exactly what he said.
That's what he said?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to go back and look at it, Coach.
Yeah, because my wife said, you were upset. And I was like, well, I didn't say anything bad. She goes, no, you told me. You said, get back. Anyway, get off the field. And sometimes I do watch the replay, and I'm like, man, that's bad. That's bad. I got on to Coach Cherzall earlier in the year over a wire, and I was like, man, my wife said, you need to apologize to him or whatever. I was like, he's a grown man. He's fine. I did. We're good. So that's part of it. So.
Well, I tell you, we look forward to some of your antics on the sidelines when, we look for. It's like, hey, what's he going to do this week?
Man, that's not good. If there's an over and under,
that's a good thing, Coach. You get the fans fired up when they see that.
I tell you, the fans love it. They love to see that energy. And
I tell you a story. When I was my first head coaching job at Thompson High School, and we were not very good. Now that program had won one game in 3 years. It'd be like the Smith situation, and we actually we were playing Carver in Birmingham, and a team that we actually were better and we're going to win, and we ended up winning the game. That was my first career victory. But anyway, as a head coach, O-line, we're not playing well. I mean, we're a team that we should have been up a couple touchdowns, and it's 7-0 late in the second quarter. And I go over there and didn't say anything bad, but I just let our guys have it. Man, I was frustrated. The season not gone like you thought. And I remember I caught myself, and I'm like, man, I'm right in front of all our students, all our parents, and everybody. And I don't think I said anything bad, but I was definitely not a nice guy. And I got done. The whole set stood up and started cheering and clapping. Like, that's it. That's what I'm talking about, man. We need to see that. Anyway, so it's funny, man. People are dialed in. They're intense, and they're focused, too. So, we have our moments. We try to stay pretty calm and collected, and I think that's what sometimes people are like, man, you're so calm on the sideline. I said, but my wife's like, oh, yeah, but when he loses it, whatever.
Right.
So, I'm not, some of those moments I'm not proud of, but every now and then you gotta turn up the temperature to get people's attention every now and then. So, and I understand that. So.
I think if you're not willing to do that, you're not going to be as successful as a head coach at this level. You got to be willing, like you said, to rattle the cages, because some people have to have their cages rattled. I mean, the Mills was a perfect example. If you've never been up in the booth on a Friday night, which I know you haven't had the opportunity, but every once in a while, the Millser will throw a stool, and it's something to see. Sometimes he throws it at somebody. Sometimes he throws it up against his own face, and it gets everybody's attention. I'm just let you know. So yeah, those are good things.
But you asked that question. That's what I told everybody. I said they need to get back, and I was only frustrated because we just got a second 15-yard penalty that was completely unavoidable. If we just would have got our kids off the field, so it was a lesson learned. Addressed it with the kids. We got a plan in place now in that situation with our staff, and man, hey, even though this is 6 years and 17 years of coaching, man, you're always going to run across a new situation that you can put into the bank to do better next time. So you're never too old to learn.
We're going to step aside for one more break. This is another 3-minute break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the Coach Caleb Ross Show here from Los Amais Mexican Restaurant. You got 10 more minutes before Marcus Jackson and Coach Ross are going to get out of here. Your autograph session will be expired. So come on down. See us. We'll be right back.
I'm Chip Powell with the Prattville Lions broadcast crew and a longtime customer of Billy Lanham's Auto Save Tire and Automotive. Billy is proud to support the Lions Quarterback Club and all of the radio and live stream broadcasts. But the thing that he is most proud of is having a reputation for saving his customers money on the best brand name tires, automotive accessories, and service. Let Billy and his crew know that you appreciate the support of Prattville High School. Let Auto Save Tire and Automotive take care of your vehicles and save you money. North Memorial Drive in Prattville and locations in Montgomery and Wetumpka. AutoSaveTires.net.
I could have built a drugstore anywhere in Montgomery, but it was this neighborhood that needed it. When I moved here, it was thriving. I want to see it that way again. Riverbank made borrowing the money easy when other banks didn't. It's nice when people care enough to make sure you have what you need. That's how I treat my customers, and that's how the folks at Riverbank treat me.
Hey, I'm Shane Spiller with Spiller Furniture and Mattress. We're a proud supporter of Prattville Lions football and glad to be part of the broadcast. We're located right in downtown Prattville, been here for 35 years. Right here in downtown Prattville, we have 12,000 square feet of great merchandise to help you be comfortable at the big game. Right here at Spiller Furniture and Mattress, we specialize in big selection, friendly service, and credit, credit, credit. So come see us in downtown Prattville at Spiller Furniture and Mattress, where we're proud to support Prattville Lions football. Go Lions.
In 1934, Steak and Shake decided the world didn't need another hamburger. It needed a steak burger, so they used 100% beef. Quick seared to seal in the flavor you'll only get from a steak burger. Steak and Shake, home of the original steak burger.
New at Steak and Shake, 24 meals under $4 with handcrafted steak burgers, all beef steak franks, and fresh guacamole made from scratch. Get 24 meals for under $4. New at Steak and Shake.
Don't throw away your money, especially on replacement auto parts. In most cases, aftermarket parts are just as good and a heck of a lot cheaper than factory parts. D&J Auto Parts in Prattville is all hooked up with Auto Plus, a nationwide leader in the automotive aftermarket. Don't you dare go to another parts store before checking the great prices at D&J Auto Plus, 175 Highway 82 Bypass in Prattville. You never know who will be tonight's most valuable player, but you could be tomorrow's most valuable picker. That's because you can discover your next bargain at Prattville Pickers. It's the region's largest collection of everything unique. It's a treasure hunter's paradise and a collector's dream come true. Don't scrimmage through rummage. Go to Prattville Pickers for the best selection of everything unique. Cheer loud tonight for the game's most valuable player, and you can be the most valuable picker this weekend at Prattville Pickers on Highway 82 across from the Prattville Country Club.
There are only 5 left. They've been going like hotcakes tonight. Coach, heading into this game tonight, one of the things that we've really enjoyed over the years of playing Sid Lanier is when we get up on Sid Lanier and the games in hand, we get to recite Sid Lanier poetry from our youth that we've memorized over time. And we haven't been able to do that in the last couple of years. So we're really hoping that tomorrow night we can break out the Sid Lanier poetry again and once again recite from our hearts the message that he brought to us so long ago.
Well, that's the goal. That's what I'll tell our team tomorrow. This is what we're trying to achieve here. We want the radio crew to be able to recite poetry. It's motivation.
When the game is completely out of hand and we're on the second and third rosters, that's when we break out the poetry. But you'd be surprised at what Chip can recite off the top of his head from Sid Lanier, and from any major poet from the 1860s, for that matter. He's a deep individual, and most people don't know that. Most people don't know that because he doesn't show that, But it has been fun this year, following this team, traveling with the team, being with the team on Friday nights, and just watching this team progress each and every week. And slowly but surely the confidence becomes restored, and not just the players, but also the community. The community starts to believe that we've got a good product again.
That's right.
And they want to be, and everybody wants to get behind. Everybody wants to be behind this team. And slowly but surely the stand has started to fill up more and more. It started to fill up earlier during the regular season. We've only had 5 home games this year. That was it, right?
That's right. And, man, I feel it, too. when you go out in the community and you see people coach, great job, man, great job. And those things do make you proud. You want to tell everybody, hey, you ain't seen nothing yet. Just wait till we get this thing. Hopefully we extend this thing, get really gelling in the playoffs and in the years to come, and the vision that I have for this program and that our coaches have, and that, man, the things that we want to get accomplished here, getting this program back to the elite level of the state of Alabama. And I think it's doable, man. We wouldn't have came back, wouldn't have left, good jobs and good places and came here to do this. And, man, we've, so far so good.
One of the things that I've really enjoyed you bringing back to the program this year is the communication and the actual hands-on contact with the junior high program. And the ninth grade program and the JV and the junior high program. Even going as far as to having a couple of Caleb Ross shows on Thursday night at the junior high ball games and the JV ball games. That's huge. For one, it lets those players know that that you're watching and that you care and that you've got plans for them coming up, but also to get the numbers up at that level, getting those kids out of the hallways on the football field and doing something productive. And finally, we see that we've got a great crop in the 8th grade. We got a great crop in the 9th grade, and it's starting. The talent's starting to back up again.
That's right, and that's the goal. And I mean, if you're talking about building a program, well, you really do got to build it inside out, from the bottom up. Man, that's who we are. To me, and I mean this, and maybe that's just you've been a head coach now 6 years. So when we start talking about, man, you even know, man, what's our roster going to look like 2 years from now? What's it going to look like? What's our starting group going to look like 3 years from now? And some people don't see that far or think that far, but, man, as a head coach, I think you have to, man. You constantly got to be thinking, what's your future and how do you build for it? Man, you look at some of the issues that had to be fixed. Well, one of them was you had to keep kids in Prattville, and we knew that we had to want kids to play Prattville. It's got to be man, they got to look forward to playing Prattville football. So, man, you go down there, you put the time in, and I'll say this. We did a good job, but, man, there's so much more we can do and we are going to do. This first year, there were so many things you had to put time in to get back up on its feet. That's one I thought we did a good job, man, but we can do a better job, and we will as we move forward. And that's the plan, man. We're going to always be involved. We're going to continue one more step, get more involved with our youth leagues. Man, that's my goal is I want to be down at that junior high in this offseason at least once a week. Those kids need to see who the head coach is. They need to know that I do care about them. I'm looking forward to see what they can do. So, like you said, that's a talented group of kids, and we're getting the numbers back out. There's excitement. You go to a junior high game junior high game, man, our 7th grade scrappy football team, man, I think you're talking about a group to me that overachieved, man. I think they went 4-3 maybe, and really, I was proud of that group. And then the talented 8th grade group. But you look up in the stands on a Thursday night, man, they're for a junior high game, man, the stands are full, man. It's really exciting. Makes you feel that people do care about football, man, and I'm excited. And man, sometimes I look back and I say, man, I'm just glad I'm a part of it, man. It really is. So,
no doubt about it. And this class that's graduating this year will look back years from now and go, this is the year we had a hand in turning this rudder and turning the ship back around, and that'll be something they'll always remember, regardless of the outcome this year. And it's been a positive outcome already.
Well, how do you? I mean, you measure success, and you I think, well, this group here, and this thing ain't over with yet. Look how far we possibly can go, man. We still can go do this whole thing, and you look at all the, let's say in 3 years and whatever, man, this group is going to be as successful as any group that's ever come through because of where the program was, and man, to get it back here and we make this run. Man, outstanding. Even though, we've lost 3, but hopefully don't lose again. Man, it's just to me, that's how you measure success, man. You start from where'd you start, where you finish, and like you said, I'll always remember, man, as long as I'm, the head coach of what this first year at Prattville, means to me in this group, man. A very talented group of kids, too, really good young men.
No doubt about it. Well, Coach, we're out of time. Really appreciate you spending some time with us here at the show that bears your name. You kind of have to be here. So, so we appreciate it very much. This has been the Coach Caleb Ross Show. We'll be on the air again tomorrow night at Crampton Bowl starting at 6:15 on Dixie Country 100.1 FM. We're now going to give way to the Hey Coach Show featuring the head coach of the University of West Vance Red Elephants, Will Barrett. Coach Caleb Ross saying good night, God bless, and go Lions.
All right, that should take care of us. That should take care of us. We're done.